Hi, web designers, welcome back. Today we're going to continue working on our dice program. Last time, hopefully we had one dice where we could roll it and see what we got randomly. Today we're going to expand on that and roll 2 die. All right, so what you can see up on your screen right now is a version of a program that we're going to work towards. When I tap on throw dice, you'll notice I now have 2. And then something else that we're going to work towards is that we can turn it into more like a game where we can count up how many dots we have and assign points to our round. We're able to toggle back and forth between a couple of different players. So that's what we're going to take a look at for today. All right, so let's head back over to, actually before we do that, I want you to notice that when I tap on throw dice, when I tap on this, I'm keeping track of my total points, and I want them to accumulate. So the way I had us start our program last time was that I put in this throw dice button, and I was calling this every time, I'm calling this function every time we hit submit on the form. Well, the problem with that is every time we hit submit on the form, we are reloading the page, which would not allow us to continue one game. So we're going to modify this a little bit. So we're going to get rid of this button here, and we're going to code it in a different way. So rather than a form button, we're just going to create a button. And when we click it, so on click, it's going to call the throw dice function, if I could spell it correctly. Okay. The button's going to say throw dice, and then I will close that button. Okay, I no longer want to call throw dice when I submit. So if I rerun this, okay, I tap on throw dice, all right, and right now it's broken because I screwed this up last time. So if I go back over to script.js, the only thing happening in my throw dice function is I'm drawing a face and I'm not even passing in a parameter. So if you caught on to that last time, hooray for you. So we actually want to get rid of this. And I'm going to go back up to my initialization, my init function, up here. All right. And this is actually what I want it to do. So I'm going to copy that and paste it into my throw dice function. Okay, so now if I run it, there we go. You also may have noticed that in my sample program, I did not have it throw the dice right away. I waited for a button trigger. If I run this from scratch again, nothing was up there to begin with, and you had to tap the button to trigger the first throw. So if we want to continue on with that, we can go into our body tag and delete this onload init function. So we don't even have to use that. Okay, so now we don't throw the dice until we tap on the throw dice button. Okay, so we're modifying our code just so we can make it more robust. And our goal is to, for our next steps, after I take you through how to throw two different dice and kind of figure out how to deal with points and some decisions that you can make, once you've got a handle on that, you're going to try to make it your own dice game. So if you want to, whatever dice game that you would like that you feel like you can tackle. Right now, I have my sample here. I have real basic rules right now. And if I roll, see if I can get it to do it again. If I roll 2 ones, it clears out my points. So I could make my own game where the first player to 100 points wins, keeping in mind that if we ever do tap on 2 ones, it would clear out that person's score. All right, I won't let you watch me do that forever. All right, so that's our HTML. Now we're going to go into our JavaScript. And our job is going to be to draw another one of these dice objects hanging out over here to the right. So I'm essentially going to do the exact same thing. I just need to change my X coordinate for where that's going to happen. So I'm going to go over to script.js. And I'm going to add in some more variables. All right. So up at global variable spot is where I'm going to work on creating some more variables. And I'm going to create a variable called dx, and that's going to keep track of the x coordinate of where my dice is going to be drawn. If you'd like, you can keep track of the y coordinate of the dice as well. Since our dice are always going to be drawn in this case level with each other, it's not necessarily a vital thing to have. Okay, so we have our x and y, our dx and dy to keep track of our x and y coordinates, just to keep it consistent. All right, and remember we have these dice x and dice y that keep track of the horizontal and vertical position of the single die. All right, so what we're going to do is go down to our throw dice because we got rid of we're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore the initialization function. And I'm going to say that to begin with, dx is equal to dice x. And I'm going to say that dy is equal to dice y. All right, and then, okay, so I'll generate my number of dots, and I'll call that function called draw face and pass through my number of dots. Okay, so now I want to move the second die 150 pixels to the right. In order to do that, I'm going to set dx equal to dice x plus 150. Okay, remember dy doesn't change. Okay, I can create another variable if I would like to regenerate a new number of dots because we don't want them to be the same every time, and then we'll call our function. All right, so if you want to reuse that variable, essentially we're just copying and pasting. There we go. Okay, so if I run it at this point, it still looks like one die object, okay? And it's supposed to, because we didn't modify any of our other code. All right, so let's see what we've done. So we called draw face. So remember in draw face, see if it loads back up. There we go. Where's draw face? Within draw face, we get access to the canvas and 2D in our 2D context, we set our line width, and now we're clearing our rectangle, but it's always starting at dice x and dice y, so we're always clearing out the same piece. But remember, we have new variables coming along to deal with the x and y coordinate of our rectangle. And we'll do the same thing with our stroke rectangle. Okay, so let's see what happens here. If we run it and tap on throw dice, notice now we have our two different rectangles, and sometimes it looks super goofy because there is no roll that looks like this. So what's actually happening is that I'm drawing all of my dots for both die faces on the same rectangle because I didn't adjust all my dots based on dx and dy. They're based on dice x and dice y. All right, so all of this isn't going to change our switch statement, which determines where we're drawing our dots. Everything that we need to do is going to be hanging out within our draw functions. So rather than saying that dot x is equal to dice width times a half plus dice x, we want to modify that to be dx. Here we can modify our dy, dicey to dy, or keep it the same, because remember that didn't actually change, okay? And we'll continue through. So when we draw 2, rather than basing on dice x, we're going to base on dx, and rather than basing on dice y, we'll base it on dy. Any place we see dice X, we're going to change to DX. Any place with dice Y, we'll change to DY. Okay, same thing with draw 4. Because we want it to change for the two different die objects. All right, so now if we run it and throw the dice, we now have our two different die objects showing off over here. Okay, and it would be super easy if you want to bring in a third object as well. Move it over, dx is equal to dice x plus 300, move it another 150 pixels to the right, and I could copy and paste this and run it. Now every time I run it, I have my three different die objects. You'll notice that my third one that I just drew, I don't get to see the whole thing, and that has to do with our canvas size. We made the width 400 pixels. We have three die objects that are 100 pixels wide each, and we've pushed over a certain number of pixels, and we've just exceeded the size of our canvas. So if we bump that up to the width of 600 instead and throw our dice, we can now see the whole thing. Okay, so your job for the rest of the time today is to duplicate this project to make sure that you have at least two dice that are rolling. Each one is generating its own set of dots. All right, please reach out if you have any questions. I will see you online. Bye.